Hey everyone, it's Dana.
And Jamie.
And we are so glad that you are spending this Thursday evening with us live in the lounge. I can say that here in South Florida, we're having a cold front where it is 71, but where Jamie is, it's a little bit more of a cold front.
Yeah. It was not fun when my fire alarm in my building went off today. We had to stand outside in the snow for 40 minutes.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. They always pick the they always pick the worst times to do those things. But I guess you could look at it in hindsight as at least they work. No? Okay. Well, we're so glad that you guys are here joining us tonight. Last week, we had a great conversation with Shivani Gupta talking all about Ayurveda, Ayurvedic medicine, and how you can incorporate it into self-care. This week, we are turning the tables a little bit. We're not talking as much about health, or maybe we are, the health of your closet. We have with us tonight Theodora Pace from The Real Cha-Cha Olivia. She is a super, super talented and sweet also personal stylist here in South Florida. You have to follow her on Instagram. She always provides such great tips. And she's here tonight to discuss with us how to have a healthy wardrobe, I could say that, and to introduce her challenge for January, which we can all do together and all be accountable. So without further ado, I am going to bring Theo on. If you're there, please say hi. In some cases, you come up just as Facebook user, which is totally fine. Maybe say, hi, this is so-and-so, so we can say hi back. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Give us some love, hearts, thumbs up, laughing. We're super excited to meet Theo, so let's bring her on for tonight's Live in the Lounge. You know I love doing that. Hold on one second. Okay, here we go. Theo! Hi!
Good to see you.
So much for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. This came up fast, and I'm so excited to be here.
I know. I am so excited also, especially because at least I get to see you on a video because of everything with COVID. So we could chat like this for tonight.
Right. And enjoy.
Exactly. So Jamie's going to start off with the first few questions, but I just wanted to ask you if you could give us like a little Reader's Digest, a little background on yourself.
Sure. So my name is Theo, and the business is called Cha-Cha Olivia. It was named for my daughter. It was her nickname as a toddler, Cha-Cha. And we, as they got a little bit older, I was trying to think, oh my God, they're going to be out of here before you know it. What am I going to do? And I was in retail for my life, and we won't say how long, and took a little hiatus to raise them, and just felt like, well, I'll start a fashion blog, and this will be a great way to parlay into something once they're, out of the nest. And it just kind of morphed into personal styling and lots of fun things. Social media, meeting lots of great ladies.
Yeah, it really has. And I'm so glad I got to meet you at a social media event. I think we were talking about Instagram or brand. Yeah. And I'm so glad that you came. So I got the opportunity to meet you and continue this amazing friendship.
I know. I learn a lot from you.
Oh, thanks. I learn a lot from you, so it's mutual. And Jamie is right in on the fun with this. So what's interesting, before Jamie asks her first question, then she's going to jump in, but Jamie has a history in fashion and retail also. So I'll let her get into that. So Jamie, take it away.
All right. Thank you. Just a little bit. I started my career as a buyer for a department store that no longer exists, which is sad. And then transitioned and actually worked for Macy's for almost 20 years. But I did product development and I got to source and travel to Asia, and it was an amazing experience. But we have retail in our blood. I don't know if Dana ever shared that with you. So we're super excited to have you here, and it's such good timing because I think we've all been living, in sweatpants in a COVID world, and now we're starting to think about the new year and resolutions and what we're going to focus on. And I think part of that is like cleaning up and starting fresh. And so people are going to start cleaning out their closets. What advice would you give to people as they start to like think about the new year, a new me, and how to navigate that in their closet?
Sorry. So I think January is a great time to start a closet cleanse. I am not one of those personal stylists that will make you take everything out of your closet and throw it on your bed. I think I'd have a coronary if somebody did that to me. and you probably would see me for weeks because it's just too overwhelming. So I'm one of those people that will tell you, because we only all have little pockets of time, right? Like whoever has a whole day to go through their closet. So I would tell somebody, hey, let's just do your t-shirts today. Or do you have a little extra time and you're going to be able to try on pants or jeans? Like, let's make that for the day. You might have 45 minutes to an hour. So if you keep doing things like that, then you kind of stay on top of it, even though you might not feel like it's completely done at once. What I love about January is 2 reasons. I like to do this thing called gas and groceries diet. And it's not something I came up with. I can't take credit. But I had a really close friend, still do, and we ran a boutique together in Massachusetts. And a lot of times after work, she'd say, hey, want to do a Bloomies run? And I'd be like, yeah. And one day I asked her, hey, can you do a Bloomingdale's run? And she was like, oh, no, I'm doing gas and groceries. And I'm like, what the heck is gas and groceries? And she said, well, it's my way of only buying necessities for the month, like just what I need, gas and groceries. And I'm like, this is brilliant. So when we're overspent from the holidays or just done with shopping, I like to do what's called a Shop Your Closet Challenge. So I have a private Facebook group. I won't be opening it up until right after Christmas and maybe after the New Year too, where anybody can join and you'll learn up to about 30 tips to shop your closet. And I like to say that I'm probably one of the only stylists that will not have you buying new things all the time. I really think it's important to start where you are. And so many women that I meet will have an event to go to and they automatically run out to purchase something. And so this is a way of like learning what's in your closet, what you're getting use out of, what you're not getting use out of, how to restyle it so that you can get more use out of it. And then really look at gap fillers, things that you might need to, fill in. Like maybe your white t-shirt's really ratty and you could use a new one. So it's a great way of kind of taking inventory and starting to wear what you own more. So that's coming up in January.
I can't wait. You could ask Jamie every time she comes down or my niece comes down. I'm like, can you help me with my closet?
God, I pass by you every day. When this whole thing is over, I'm in it.
I'm going to leave you for like a weekend.
Okay.
So those are such great tips to like not be overwhelmed and, make the most of a month of change and transition. But when you think about like how you've guided people on their styling and what their wardrobe is like, how has it changed since Corona? What advice do you give people based on this whole experience we've all had?
Well, I've never really been someone to kind of live in my athleisure wear. I think that's very different if you're in that industry. Like that's, I always feel bad saying that because I think people that are in like Pilates or workout places feel like, it's that's the way they dress for work. But I just have never, sorry?
That's their work clothes, right?
Right. That's what they need to portray. So it's a very important part of what to go into work like that with jeans on doesn't really kind of fit the story. So I feel like you can still be comfortable if you're not in your sweats. I think what people realize, and even it happened to myself, that we kind of have this very casual wardrobe, like the athleisure wear, and then we have the work stuff, and the nice casual is kind of missing. And I think that's where a lot of women got stumped recently, and felt like they had to live in sweats. And I was done with that pretty quickly. I enjoyed it for the first week, and then thought, oh my God, I'll put on 20 pounds, it's just not going to be helpful. And studies show that, you feel better. I've tried to encourage people to wear clothing. And even if you're just focusing on what we see right now on all three of us, which is from the waist up, I do still really have jeans on. I don't believe that I would wear this with sweats. Then you don't really know where you're at. So I do think finishing the whole look is important, but I do really feel like wearing color and putting in an effort really make a difference.
I'm wearing sweatpants. I could be one of those memes if you look under the desk every day. It's all dressed up here and then sweatpants on the bottom. So bad. If you have to get up, you got to turn your camera off.
Hey, as long as you're wearing pants.
That's true. That is true. But you bring up an interesting topic of sort of that in-between casual wear, because I definitely, even before Corona, I think it was the extremes, right? It was what I wore to work, and then what I wore to work out. And so what are some great items, because I actually think most of us we may never go back to an office. We may be in this virtual world, and people are going to want to be out more and want to start feeling good. And I think that's going to become even more important, that sort of middle casual, but feeling polished and put together. What are some of the key items you'd recommend for people?
I'm totally into blazers. I have a few behind me that I pulled for today. The one that I'm wearing, I love because it's more of a knit. I'll stand up so you can see it. And it's got a detachable hood. So, you can unbutton it and take that little baby off. And, it's stretchy, so it's comfortable. I've paired it with the graphic tee. Actually, we have to give a shout out to our friend.
Is it Amanda? I have that t-shirt. I love it.
I know, isn't it great? She's so awesome.
I want that t-shirt. Now I feel left out.
I'll get you one for Hanukkah, Christmas.
There you go. Sisterly love. So things like this that are comfortable yet polished looking. Like I said, I could take I could put a black turtleneck with it and take off the hood and be presentable for a work Zoom. Something where you have to be a little bit more professional. And I love that blazers are really popular right now because I'm a firm believer in the third piece. I think the best way of finishing off an outfit is by having that topper. It's a little bit more difficult down south in the summer. We're not wearing blazers. We're lucky if we can just wear the t-shirt and a sweater thrown over our shoulders. But I think a third piece really finishes an outfit. In fact, I was at a woman's house a couple weeks ago and she's like, oh, it just feels like pants and a shirt. And I'm like, that's because you don't have a topper. You need the third piece and then it feels more put together. So
what blazers do you have behind you? I always love your clothes.
Okay.
I want to get it in your closet.
So what I did was I pulled some jackets that are very classic. This is a J. Crew that I got on super sale. And it would be great with a simple white shell underneath or with a graphic tee.
Oh, I love that.
With kind of coordinating colors. And I'll wear this with jeans. And with this kind of t-shirt, I'll throw on kind of a funky sneaker, which is another look that I really like to suggest right now because it's a casual, comfortable shoe. And it's super comfortable because it's a sneaker. But when it's dressed up a little bit, now, this isn't the one I would wear with it, but just so you can have an idea, something that is just a little funkier, a little dressed up looking, doesn't make you feel like you're walking around in flip-flops or a real running shoe. And I paired another graphic tee with something like this.
Oh, I love that too.
So that's fun. And again, dress it up, dress it down. And I'm going to save this because that's for later. And then, one other thing I love too right now with jackets is there's a lot of 3/4 sleeves. So you're not pushing them. I'm one for always rolling and pushing up a sleeve. But with something like this, you're showing off your jewelry or your watch. You're not hot. You can easily throw a jacket on over it if you're up north. But I love a lot of that 3/4 sleeve or jackets that even are kind of already gathered and
like the ruched over by the elbow. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So I am really fond of jacket and blazer trends right now. The fun sneakers, the graphic tees, and even a belt bag. Dana knows I'm like totally into these.
I got one because of you. I got a cool one that you picked up for me. Thank you. Based on one of your Instagram stories. I'm like, I need that.
Have you been wearing it?
Yes, I wore it down to my son's baseball game too, and it was perfect because it was like slung over. It had everything. It was so cute, and I wore it with a white T-shirt and ripped jeans, and it like made the outfit.
Right, and that's one thing that I love. Like then you're, especially right now where you don't want to touch a lot. Like the last thing you want to be doing is like digging into a handbag, throwing it over your shoulder. So any of these that convert to like a crossbody, I think are really great. And they make a great accessory when you're finishing off your outfit too. So those are my faves right now.
So many cute things. So I'm like inspired to get out of my sweatpants right now. They would look good with jeans or other kinds of pants that are not sweatpants. So tell us how, what it's like to walk into someone's closet that you've never seen, or, like what it's like to be sort of on set or on the project, how you approach that, and maybe share one of your craziest stories.
It's always a little, it's a really personal space, and I like to be very honest about, what I think. And it's hard to say to somebody sometimes like, ooh, that has some stains. You might want to launder that, or, we've got to let this baby go. Like, I think that, you just have to kind of be mindful. But I like to really be honest. There's like a woman said to me a couple weeks ago, she had I didn't say this already. She had a kind of a stretched out T-shirt, and she's like, well, maybe I should save it for bumming around. And I thought, oh my God, you don't need to wear something bumming around. Like, look at all these beautiful clothes that you have. Let that go and look presentable. Like, why do you need to save something that's worn out or for just like hanging out? Like, still, you have all these other beautiful things that would be just as nice. So it's, I'm always a little I'm probably just as nervous as they are, because they'll say to me, oh my God, I'm so nervous. And I'm like, me too.
But I would be so appreciative, I think, in the long run, is because like when you're with you asking your sister or your mom or your best friend, they're like, oh, that looks great on you. You should keep, well, no, my sister's very honest with me, which is good. But like other people are like, oh, that looks great on you. You should totally wear that. Like whatever. I would rather have someone that is like, listen, I am here for a reason. You called me for a reason, and I'm just going to be straightforward with you. So that's an advantage that you have that I think is huge.
It is. It is helpful. And I do always feel when I leave, like they got a lot out of it, whether it's new ways to wear different things in their closet or know the kind of things that they should look for, or even if it's tweaking something that, they were ready to give up on, but it was like, it just needs to be hemmed, or it just needs to be taken in a little bit, So does that answer your question? I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely. I was just thinking about what it might feel like, but to your point, it's probably really rewarding when after, even though there's probably things people are attached to or feel personal, they did call you or they did want to go there, and having someone who's an expert at it kind of guide them is great.
That's one important thing that I do is take that bag away on them because I've had people go back in and pull things out. So
I'm sorry, but that is so good.
so it's like, yes, say goodbye now because it's coming with me.
That's really funny. Do you tell them that before?
Yes.
So that okay. You give them the warning so that they're prepared. That's good. Good.
Yeah.
No, because actually in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, maybe if there's like that shirt, you could just like put it towards the other side of the bag. Nope, that's not happening.
No, it's gone. When in doubt, throw it out. That's my motto.
It's mine too.
Do you have a rule? Like, you know how people are like, if you haven't worn it for 6 months or you haven't worn it for a year, do you have that rule, or did you go by that, or is there a time frame, or no?
You know what? Marie Kondo, like God bless her, but like I don't agree with any of it. I don't fold my clothes. I don't have time to fold them and always have them look that good. I have items in my wardrobe that I remember purchasing when I met Anthony, my husband, 17 years ago. And I might not wear them for a year or maybe 2, but then I just pulled it out. And I feel like even if things are not necessarily trendy, but unique and they're timeless, they might be something that you'll pull out. And I am very careful about what I let go.
Right. No, I hear you. So Lori wants to know, how about 30 years?
Lori's closet, we can't even go there on public platforms. Her husband transformed one room to be her closet, and she still has other closets around the house. And she does. And God bless her, she still wears the things she still can fit in them from 30 years ago.
That is awesome. Number one. Number two, that she has a room that turned into a closet, which is so cool. And that she genuinely wears all the clothes. I think that's awesome.
And a husband that did it for her.
Yeah, that needs to go to the top of the list.
Yeah, he's a good doobie.
That's awesome.
So I think you brought some items with you in addition to what you already shared that you said you were saving. Did you want to share? Are they your must-haves?
Yeah, I am totally into this year faux leather. And I have been wearing this. I just did an Instagram post on the faux leather joggers. And I love them because they can go casual to dress very easily. You can pair them with a pump, but you could very easily do. Are you guys getting feedback, or is that just me?
That's me.
Okay. You could easily do it with a denim shirt that might have a graphic tee underneath, and then those fun sneakers, or you could do it with a pump. And I've just been enjoying that look because you're comfortable like you have a sweatpant on, but you look really, really finished. And you probably didn't sink the money that you would have if you bought a real pair of leather. And then you don't really want a real pair of leather joggers anyway, because, this is a fun trend, and maybe it'll last two more falls, winter seasons, maybe longer. And, you can do the same. So here, I have the same kind of feel. Oh gosh, hold on. In a full legging. This was from Athleta, and I think they still have it on the line. And you could do just with an oversized sweater, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, now you're casual, but you look really finished. You might as well be in your sweatpants because you're just as comfortable. So I'm really loving this faux leather bottom. And then there's one other pair that is the faux leather in the front and then kind of a stretch ponte in the back. So,
nice.
And now, again, I wouldn't really wear this without something kind of over the top. I don't really think leggings are pants. But if the blazer were a little longer and you had a boot on with it, it could be a heeled boot. It could be, a low kind of bikery kind of boot, or a combat boot, are really kind of fun, or the sneakers again. So this is one trend that I'm really going back to a lot this year. I do keep pulling it out.
Where did you find those faux joggers? I meant to ask you that in your Instagram story.
These are Alice and Olivia. I got them during Friends and Family. And then little Miss Lori Beaver in there with the closet for 30 years, just informed me tonight that they're on back order until February. But I have a great girl, Cassandra, at Alice and Olivia Palm Beach that is super fantastic at finding things. So if anybody's looking for them.
I might have to message you after this.
Yeah.
Great.
They're super and what's great about them too is they're not really hot. You know how sometimes faux things can get really, like you feel like you're sticking to it. They're not bad.
Yeah, like you're insulated almost.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So that's my favorite this season.
Awesome. I'm afraid to talk. I don't want the feedback to come.
You're good. You're good.
So Dane, did you have any other questions before we go to our faves?
I know. So, Theo, let's talk a little bit about your challenge. You're going to start it after the holidays, or you're going to start advertising about it after the holidays?
Yes. If you're following on Facebook or Instagram, I'll be talking about it, right after Christmas, a little bit, and then more so after January. It won't start January 1st. I think the date is the 11th, maybe, where every day there will be a post in the private Facebook group. And we'll be able to kind of go back and forth with questions, or people can pop pictures in. Maybe you'll do a couple lives in there too, just to kind of really help people out. But there will be tips on how to kind of approach the whole topic and get the most out of what you wear.
Okay. Now, before I put your Instagram handle on the bottom, it's the real Chacha Olivia.
On Instagram, it's all
together.
Yeah, okay. No dash.
So if anyone would like to join, which I highly recommend, follow Theo on the real Chacha Olivia on Instagram. You'll get all the information. You'll get up to date as to when the group is going to open. And then while you're waiting for the group to open, you can see all of her she does a lot of try-ons, where I remember you did a try-on with white booties, and I was like, I could never pull off white booties, but you paired them with like the coolest things that I would have never thought of. And some of the things were in my closet and they looked phenomenal. So,
oh, good.
Oh, you're so inspiring.
Yay.
I love it. So what Jamie was talking about before is every person that comes on to Live in the Lounge, we always do our speed round, kind of like speed dating questions to ask you some things about yourself. So I'm going to start with, and these are like super easy to work. Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Okay. Red or white wine? Or no wine?
Oh, red, but it doesn't always agree with me anymore.
I know. I used to be like totally red. Now I'm like going over to the white side.
Yeah.
Finding some good dry, semi-sweet. Oh, good. Lucy's following you. We're getting some great comments here. As you can see, I was like popping them up. Jennifer doesn't have any pants that aren't jeans either, just so that you can see. And please, if you have any questions or any comments in the interim, please leave them below, because they'll come through with the replays. We can help you with anything that you have, any questions you have about fashion, COVID fashion, after COVID fashion, and so on. But back to the questions. When you are not personally styling people or making your very cool Instagram videos, what are you doing?
Oh God, that's not a lot of time, but I'm hanging out with my kids and my husband, and I'm sure they would tell you I'm driving them crazy.
Oh no, I can't. You are such a good mom. You're always like over by the Wellington, the equestrian world. You have a beautiful family.
Oh, thank you. They're good. They're really good. I do drive them crazy. You know.
That's okay. It's love. You're showing them love.
It's a Greek. It's a Greek Italian.
We're both like, yes, we know. Do you have a book that you love, or an author?
Oh God. God, my books go from like so many different things. The last one that I read that I was just I could not put down, like literally stayed up until 4 a.m. to finish it, was the book Educated. I can't even think of the girl's name.
I know exactly. It's the one with the pencil on the front. I read that book club. That is a great read.
Right.
Such a great
that one. But there's so many. I have major ADD, so I have like 5 books going right now. So.
And do you have a favorite quote?
I have certain like Theo ones, but I would say maybe each year they change a little bit. This year would probably be the only thing that's like ever constant is change. And it just kind of feels like this has been a really interesting year of just everything change, and then, you know, the unknown and all of that kind of stuff. So this year that feels like it could really fit the bill. The other one I really love is don't do anything half-ass. If you're going to do something, use your full ass, unless you give but, so yeah, that's awesome. Tell the kids that all the time.
Yeah, so. I love that. Phenomenal. So we are getting some questions about styling and stuff. So I'll be sure to forward them to you. Someone wanted to know tips to dress when you have a toddler. I feel like I can't wear anything nice now. And then
faux leather. It's washable.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, it wipes right off.
Yeah.
So smart. Totally. And then Lucy was like, she would love information on how to make decisions while cleaning out the closet. So maybe we can have you back on, or you could do like a few tips or pointers. Maybe you can come into my closet and we can do it together.
Ooh, that would be fun.
How much fun would that be?
Yeah, that would be a blast. I would love that. And there is a download on the website too, on the blog. There's a questions to ask yourself. So I can get the link to that for her too if I want, but I'd love to go into your closet.
That would be great. Oh my gosh, you might get stuck in there. You might be like, I can't get out. I don't know what's going on. It's a mess.
All the scarves.
All the scarves. People thought it was weird that I had 33 scarves. I don't know why.
I don't.
I know, right? You and me were like,
yeah.
Totally. Well, thank you so much, Theo. It has been an absolute pleasure talking to you. I know my sister and I were like smiling, laughing at the same things. We learned so much from you.
Oh my God, thank you so much. I enjoy all of your content so much. I love how different and how awesome. I was telling some of the people about some of the people you've had on in the past. So I'm just so glad they got to kind of meet you.
Thank you. I know. Thank you to all the new people that have come on because of Theo and everything. We're so glad you're here. We love having you here. If you have any questions or you want to see any replays of previous videos, they're all in the Modern Mom Lounge, and they're also on the modernmomlounge.com, which is where Theo's video is going to be housed as well. So you can always go there to replay. Any friend of Theo is most definitely a friend of ours.
Thank you so much again. Have a great holiday.
Bye, Theo. Thank you.
Thank you, Mama.
Bye.
Bye.